26. It's a fairly small agenda tonight, really, but one but particularly big, important item on it. But we've only got a couple of items tonight. Okay, so we haven't any apologies. There's no apologies from room we were expecting her, are we? Okay, thank you. Remind members of section 106. Also remind you of disclosures of interest. There's no business not covered by the current forward plan or of any special urgency. No references from committees or other bodies. No recommendations from scrutiny and no petitions. So we must move straight on to the business items, and the first item, very important item for the agenda. Maria, over to yourself.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I'd like to seek your permission to be noted the committed work of the team and officers, including our partners and services, voluntary organisations, survivors, working on the needs assessment and strategic plan, and to thank them. Also to thank members for their input. It has been a committed demonstration of a village approach teamwork to this stage of the democratic process, and appreciate all their efforts and support. So thank you all. The Domestic Abuse Act 2021 places a statutory duty on local authorities to develop and publish a domestic abuse strategy that sets out how the council will meet the needs of victims and survivors, particularly in terms of safe accommodation and support. The previous strategy ran from 2021 to 2024. The new strategy has been refreshed based on an updated needs assessment conducted in 2025 and will be implemented in 2026 this year, 2031 if approved by Executive. Luton is setting out our strategic plan and aligning it with our Luton 2040 vision to become a healthy, fair and sustainable town where everyone can thrive and no one must live in poverty. Tackling domestic abuse is a priority for Luton, where in 2024 an estimated 8,500 residents, or 1 in 20 adults, experienced domestic abuse. In the same period, 5,600 domestic abuse-related police incidents were reported in Luton. This is only a partial picture, as not all domestic abuse is reported to the police for various reasons. Our strategic plan is based on priorities resulting from our statutory duties and the recommendations identified by our refreshed local needs assessment. The needs assessment synthesized local statistics, survivors' voices, feedback from frontline staff, policy and best practice to identify 6 priority areas. The strategy has been created and built upon partnership and collaboration between all statutory and specialist agencies working together with survivors and the wider community to address domestic abuse and achieve the best outcomes for Luton residents. This strategy also supports the UK government's commitment to halve the number of incidents of violence against women and girls over the next 10 years, and we welcome the recent government's announcement. I recommend that Executive approve and support the new Luton Domestic Abuse Strategic Plan 2026 to 2031. So thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Are there any questions? Yes, Umi?
Just a comment, really. I want to reiterate the point that you made at the start, Maria, and thank the team, because I think it's taken a really long time, and you've gone to so many meetings back and forth, really taken on board all of our comments, and thank you to Maria for driving it. And actually looking at the government's walk strategy, much of the stuff we're already doing, that we're doing in Luton, is already kind of doing what the government wants to happen nationally. So thank you.
Thank you, Umi. Rob?
Same as, really. I mean, some policies come through this council and you have to sort of take your hat off and say, this is really good. It's an excellent piece of work. So I thank everybody who was behind all that. Thank you. And from my point of view, being housing portfolio holder, I'll be working with the officers to make sure it gets done in reality. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. James?
Yeah, again, I think it's a good strategy, and I think it's fairly evident that it's been evidence-led, and it recognises the realities of domestic abuse. But then within the strategy, it also allows for those smaller minorities which might experience domestic abuse, that there's a pathway for them as well. I did have just a question around for information, just my own interest really. Under goals and objectives, prevent abuse before it starts. So we know this is about teaching people about healthy relationships. we know a lot of these attitudes that maybe people are acquiring, they're coming from online, and it's a sort of fairly new sort of ideology in some circles. Is there resources out there already that have been shown to work, and how those perceptions could be tackled, or is it still something that's being formulated?
Maria, do you want to come back on that?
Yeah, thanks, James, for that. Yeah, we are working with our schools. There's already, programs in the schools, and that's going to obviously be more heightened. Working with young people and online safety. There's been workshops previously on online safety as well, but we are going to, obviously, take it further and ensure that what we've got here is actually what we are going to deliver. Working with our schools. I don't know if do you want to add anything?
Sorry, yeah, just to add that issues around gender ideology and misogyny are also addressed in the 2026 updated RSHE curriculum, so we'll be supporting schools to be implementing per the government guidance that's issued starting in September 2026. And I also note that the government's violence against women and girls strategy also picks up on prevention and picking up on intervention. So there are not too many early evidence-based interventions, but they're aiming to develop these and build on these.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Are we happy to support the? Thank you very much. Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask the